This is the Foy Jr. show, where faith, truth, and courage come together. Join us as we explore life's deeper purpose and carry the torch of conviction. The show begins now.
Welcome. Welcome to the Foy Jr. show. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, folks. Also, don't be embarrassed. Share this episode with one person. Okay? Do it. Let's go. All right. Today, we're stepping into something that has cost me more than I want to admit. My ego. This took me a long time to understand and even longer to own. Because if I'm being honest, ego has cost me more in leadership and financially than anything else. More than stock markets, competition, bad hires, more than pressure, ego. And today, we're going to step into that fight. Not a fight outside of ourselves, but a fight inside. Now, why is it so powerful? Why is ego so powerful and dangerous? It has a voice. And here's what it sounds like. You're right. You deserve more. You don't deserve that attitude. You don't deserve that tension. They should know better. You should not have to deal with this. You're the owner. You're the boss. You're the leader. And the dangerous part, man, that voice feels justified, doesn't it? Whew. Ego doesn't show up when things are easy. It shows up under pressure. When the room shrinks, but the problems don't. In the kitchen, when everything is breaking down. In the meetings, when the numbers aren't being hit. In the moments when you feel disrespected. That's when ego steps into the ring. And here's what I've learned. Ego doesn't always look like arrogance. Sometimes it looks like frustration, defensiveness, needing to be right no matter the cost. We justify it. I'm holding the standard. I have principles. I'm protecting the business. I'm just leading. But underneath it, that's ego. Now, let's turn to Proverbs 16:18. This one always got me. Whew. Pride comes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before the fall. Think about that. That's not advice. That's a warning. And I've lived that warning. I've had moments where my ego stepped into the ring like Mike Tyson. And I thought I was winning, but I wasn't. I was damaging relationships, hurting culture, slowing, if not destroying growth, personally, professionally, and financially. I wasn't leading. I was reacting. Then this hits me. James 4:6. God opposes the pride, but gives grace to the humble. Think about that. Where has that been applied in your life? When you've been graceful or humble, what has been returned to you versus when you've been prideful and ego-driven? So, James 4, one more time. God opposes the pride, but gives grace to the humble. He opposes it. He doesn't dislike it. He literally opposes pride. So when ego is driving, you're not just fighting people. You're not just fighting yourself. You're fighting God. And that should stop us in our tracks. And here's where the real work begins. Because ego isn't something that we fix once. There's no quick remedy here. There's no peptide. It's something that we train against daily. It's repetition. This is discipline. This is awareness. Because remember, ego is subtle. It shows up in your tone, in your posture, in your reactions. And if you're not grounded, it takes you over. I got this. I don't need help. I know what I'm doing. That's ego talking. But then we look to Jesus. Everything flips, of course. Philippians 2:3. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourself. That's the standard. Because ego says, put yourself first. Jesus says, back of the line, put others first. Ego says, be seen. Jesus says, be serving. Ego says, take control. Jesus says, surrender. That's a hard one. And let's be honest, that's a fight. That's not natural. That's discipline. That's choosing different posture over and over again. Repetition. So, I've been asking myself a question. Am I reacting or am I leading? Because ego, we already know it, it reacts. It escalates. It needs to win the moment. But leadership, it stabilizes. It contains. Leadership sees beyond the emotional moment. And here's a trap. You could be working hard. You could be doing things right and still be led by ego. Because busyness distracts us. Work defines you. Ego distorts us. And that distortion shows up in your responses. When someone drops the ball, when you feel disrespected, that one gets me. Even when you're winning, that's where ego creeps in. So here's what I'm working on right now. When I feel that surge, I pause. I ask, is that ego or is that leadership? When I reflect on a situation, I ask myself again, was that ego or was that leadership? Most often, unfortunately, it's still ego. When they feel familiar, when ego in leadership feels familiar, they lead to very different outcomes. So this will help us understand and discern between leadership and ego. Ego divides, leadership builds. Ego escalates, leadership stabilizes. Ego wants credit. Leadership gives credit. And faith wants obedience. The more responsibility you carry, the more dangerous your ego becomes. Because now, it isn't just you that you affect. It affects your team, your culture, and your family. That's weight. So what do we do? Well, we're not going to eliminate this ego overnight. I've been working on this for years, and I blew it 7 days ago. But I'm going to keep training against it, identifying it, meditating, and praying. We got to train against it, folks. Stay aware. Stay grounded. You got to be in the Word every day. Just pick up the Bible and read. We stay in the fight. Remember, this is the Jesus gym. We're going to drop those weights on our feet, but we're still going to pick them up, and we're going to continue, and we're going to keep showing up. And when those moments come, and they will, we choose posture over reaction, humility over pride, leadership over ego. And when we don't, we check ourselves, we pray, and we reset. What I'm doing more than anything is being intentional on understanding and looking for my ego to show up. Because at the end of the day, the real fight isn't out there. It's in here. And if you start winning that fight, everything else starts to align. So let me leave you with this. Where is your ego showing up right now in your life? in your leadership, in your relationships, and or in your reactions? Because awareness, that's the first step. Guard it, check it, and train it. Whatever you do, don't take the bait. God bless. See you next week.
Do you love listening to the Buddy Foy Jr. Show and want to hear his thoughts and commentary as news breaks? You can. Follow him on Twitter and Instagram at Buddy Foy Jr. That's at Buddy Foy Jr. So you can watch his short video clips, enjoy pictures he posts, and read his tweets. But he also wants to hear from you on whether or not you agree or disagree with him, what topics are most important to you, and what guests you'd like him to schedule for his show. Email him anytime at buddyfoyjr@gmail.com. That's buddyfoyjr@gmail.com, and he'll read and reply to as many as he can. If you've been a guest at the Chateau on the Lake or the Chateau Anna Maria and want to buy a gift certificate or souvenir, visit the website and click Shop to buy shirts, hats, coffee mugs, and more. Remember to follow Buddy on Twitter and Instagram at Buddy Foy Jr. or email him at buddyfoyjr@gmail.com.